Hello, my name is Steve Munford and I am the designer of REAA Online. REAA Online has been put together to help licensees manage the way they go about their business under the new legislation brought into place in November. What we know under this new legislation is that there's some very real challenges that are coming up for real estate licensees under this new legislation. So one of the things that we are very much aware of is that anybody can now make a complaint to the REAA in relation to the activity of licensees. And some of the actual impacts of that, even under a minor case, is quite significant, up to $10,000 in a minor case and up to $100,000 in a serious case. So these things will have impact on licensees going forward in the industry itself. So what we've done here is looked at the legislation and come up with some different things to help licensees. One of the things built into the legislation is caveat emptor no longer applies. I actually believe it now actually is more likely to say licensee beware. So during the conversations that you have with your clients, you often answer a whole pile of different questions relating to the property that's either being sold or that people are looking at. The problem is with this is that a lot of those conversations are done verbally, and therefore what we have is the interpretation of what was said, the interpretation of what was actually heard, and it sort of just goes on from there. So really important, because we then add in people's memories into this particular conversation as well, and over a period of time, especially when you're dealing with a whole pile of different people, what can end up happening is these things can turn into what we call Chinese whispers. So seeing reinforcements we're going to advance become seeing three and fourpence we're going to a dance. A famous old Chinese whisper that we have actually been aware of. So one of the things is with these Chinese whispers, what often happens is we end up with what we call you said, we said conversations. And whenever you have a you said, we said conversation, it can pose a problem. So a conversation had here can eventually morph into something else at some stage in the future. So that is something that is a real concern, and especially when the conversation can actually even disappear. So people say, no, you didn't tell me that, I wasn't aware of that. So what we end up with is what we call unfulfilled expectations. Unfulfilled expectations